Thanks, Karine. Returning to our discussion yesterday, following up on some of the things that you said today, I just want to clarify, does the President believe that the effort to restrict abortion, to restrict that freedom, is semi-fascism?
Say that. How is this connected to yesterday? I'm just trying to think.
So in terms of extremism, the extremism conversation that we were having yesterday, does the President believe that the effort to restrict abortion, whether it's at the local level or the federal level, to restrict that freedom, does he believe that that is semi-fascism?
I mean, he was very clear. He was very clear that mega Republicans in Congress have an agenda that is extreme. And that's what you hear from them. The national ban on abortion is extreme, and also is not in line with where a majority of Americans are. It is just not. It is taking away people's rights. It is taking away people's freedoms, and he believes that is an extreme agenda. You've heard that from him directly. I don't even need to confirm that from here. He's actually talked about how extreme it is. When we saw what was done with the Dobbs decision on June 24th, to take away a right that people had for 50 years, a constitutional right for 50 years, that women had to make a decision for themselves on their health care. And so, yeah, we see that as extreme.
So, but I'm trying to figure out which bucket in particular to put it in, because the administration, as well as the President, has used different language here. There's extremism, and then there's also the semi-fascism moniker that he used. I mean, this is an effort that's been around for a long time. Does he believe that this movement, working through whether it's the state legislature or Congress, is in either of those buckets?
When we talk about semi-fascism and you talk about the attack on our democracy, that's what we're talking about, right? An attack on our democracy. That's what we're seeing. Attack on our freedoms. That's what we're seeing from the MAGA Republicans in Congress. That is what they're doing. That is, when you're talking about inciting violence, that is an attack on our democracy. And when you see a mob that is attacking the Capitol, and you don't call that out, or you call it out one day and then change your mind another day, what message are you saying about our democracy?
But specifically with regards to limiting these freedoms, I guess my question is, the Supreme Court created this space for the anti-abortion movement at the state level, and also perhaps at the federal level, to try and restrict this freedom. Where do they fit into all of this? How would the President describe them after that decision? Were they just extremists, or were they, part and parcel of a semi-fascist?
Look, here's what I'll say. We continue to see attacks on people's fundamental rights, right, of Americans with new abortion laws across the country. And when you have national Republicans who are leaders in their political party, who sit in office, who say that they want to take away the rights, even in case of incest, in case of rape, and taking away a woman's right to make a decision on her body, that's extreme. The President's going to call that out. He's going to continue to do everything that he can to make sure that we protect people's freedoms. He's going to do everything that he can to call that out. That is important to call out. That is important to talk about. And again, we see majority of Americans who disagree. And so when you are not with where majority of Americans are, then, that is extreme. That is an extreme way of thinking. I'm not going to, that's what I have for you, Phil. I just laid out what he's going to talk about. It's not a political part. It's not about a political person. It's not about a political party. It's about where we are currently today with our democracy.